Greetings to you all in the name of Jesus Christ. We bless the Lord for such a wonderful day. Now I pray for you that His mercies will cover you as the dew from above. It will make everything around you yield fruits, prosper, succeed in the name of Jesus. In the name of Jesus. This is another beautiful day while His presence is with us. He goes with us everywhere we go. All we need is to wake up. This awakening done by the Lord Himself, the Spirit of God. Now, for instance, through this sharing of the message, it will stir up your consciousness to perceive what is already there. The message does stir up your consciousness inside you, and you are able to see what is already there. And once you see it, my God, my, you will forever be grateful. You will forever be grateful. You will never regret. You will never cry again. You see, you are able to see, even in the midst of whatever you are facing or going through, your eyes can see something different. Your perception is different. You have come to taste the new wine that made you feel, think, see something different. In the words of Jesus Christ Himself, in Mark chapter 2 verse 22, He says, "And no one puts new wine into old wineskins, or else the new wine bursts the wineskins. The wine is spilled and the wineskins are ruined. But new wine must be put into new wineskins." Oh my goodness. You see, for instance, Jesus is saying here that He is the new wine. The new wine of Jesus is a different kind of perception. He sees the world differently. He sees life differently. You see, in the different circumstances Jesus was going through in His earthly ministry with the Jews, His responses, His understanding, His way of responding or dealing with things was different. And you know why? He was the new wine. And He says, once we taste, once we comprehend, once we carry, we understand this new wine, our perception will be different. The way we respond, the way we see things. In the midst of challenges that Jesus was challenged by these Pharisees and asking Him questions, they were asking Him questions, and these are ridiculous questions, but they wanted to trap Him, they wanted to test Him. But Jesus calmly was responding to them, and He was responding in parables, trying to help them. We don't know whether they got Him, but the truth is He was trying to help them. Why was Jesus the way He was? And that thing which He had, which made Him who He was, is what has been given to us. So He's talking about His new system, His new perception, that He wants all of us to have this same perception, same wines, same new wine. But now He says the old wineskin is the problem. What is the old wineskin? Is the way we've been perceiving things. It is the way we have been told, which is contrary from the truth that Jesus presented or shared. When we carry with us the old way of seeing things, yet things have changed, it is a hindrance. It is a hindrance to the manifestation of the glory of God. It is the hindrance to the manifestation of what we already have. It's a limitation of seeing what is already present. I'm saying this to help you, that your eyes should have the same perception. You should see the same things that Jesus is seeing. When Jesus went in the house in the wedding of Cana, in Cana, Jesus was with His mother and is with His disciples as well. And the Bible tells us that was the first miracle that Jesus did. But the first miracle that Jesus did was amazing, because he made wine. He turned water into wine. That is exactly what happened. He turned water into wine. Now you have to understand, what is water? Water normally is tasteless. It doesn't have any taste. But what does it mean to turn water into wine? It means to bring taste where there's no taste. If Jesus is the wine that brought the new taste, the taste where there was no taste, it means his understanding, his life, his nature, everything about him, his mercy, will bring a taste in your life that you have never tasted before. And this wine was different from the ordinary wines that were known. The man had held a wedding. And of course, if you have a wedding, you look for the best wine in town. So he went and looked for the best wine in town to celebrate, help them celebrate. But the celebrations were over. This is a sign that they cannot do it by themselves. There's this new wine they all need. They didn't know. And their old wine was over. It cannot help them. It cannot help them for so long. It was over. When you even compare the quantity, not only the quality, the quantity that Jesus produced, it was too much. It was too much. It says six gallons that were there. And that was too much. It in quantity and in quality is incomparable. And how Jesus turned that wedding into the joy they have ever dreamt about. Imagine these people who had held the wedding. They were so excited. They were so happy. You see, the new wine. The new wine is different. This new wine that Jesus brought is what everybody wants in his life, to turn everything that is tasteless to be tasteful. To turn everything that made them sad or angry or worry or something, to jubilate and shout and get excited and worship and praise the new wine. Jesus said, now, the new wine cannot be contained in the old wineskin. The new wine cannot be contained in the old wineskin. It cannot work that way. Your old way of seeing things has to go. It has to disappear. It has to leave you. See? Now we are told that Jesus, the mother came to Jesus, and her mother, his mother rather came to him and said, look, the wine is over. Jesus had to do something that he was not yet ready to do, because it meant something else. It meant that he's providing the new wine. And then the new wine in this particular story was to manifest fully in resurrection. In resurrection. So that's why Jesus says, the woman, what does your concern have to do with me? My hour has not yet come. My hour has not yet come. He said the time to manifest this is not yet there, because I have to put an end to this old system. But Jesus was so gracious. His mercies are always wonderful. Imagine, even when it's not time, when people do not, when something is not supposed to happen, but it happens because it's Jesus. You see now? He says, look, this is not my time. But even if it was not his time, his mercy was so present. Since there was a person who perceived Jesus, this mother, the mother of Jesus, perceived him and said, look, I know. It doesn't matter whether it's time or not. I know you're so gracious, and so I know you are wonderful. I know it will happen. You see, it happened even when it was not time. Because Jesus had a mission, had to fulfill the Jews' prophecies and the laws and so on and so forth. If, of course, everybody was not bound by that religion or religious system or belief system, if they were like Mary, he wouldn't have wasted his time. But he was so wonderful and kind, helping those who are ignorant and those who are in darkness. But you look at Mary. Mary was different. And since she sees things differently and things are happening differently, That's what I'm saying. So you see, once you have tasted this new wine of Jesus Christ, you have a different perception. You are seeing things differently. Jesus is saying, look, you see what you know, what you're used to, what you are acquainted with, all that. My life, my perception, my will, my glory is far different and far better than what you have ever known. And you want this taste, it is available. It is just a change of perception, a change of the way you see things. Like I'm saying, this is a good example. Mary, she's seeing, or she has known, she has come to taste a little bit of the new wine that Jesus carried. So she's speaking to him. And Jesus said, well, she went and said, look, whatever he tells you, do it. See, she was determined. She was already convinced that this is going to happen. See, her perception and conviction was not to backfire. It wasn't impossible. It wasn't possible. Jesus said, okay, put water into the pots. And they distributed the water, which was, of course, initial water, but it had turned into wine. The brand new wine was tasting differently. This was a new wine. Jesus is actually alluding to his newness of life and what he's doing to the world that is coming, and what comes from him is very, very beautiful and tasteful. It is what you're looking for to bring about joy, happiness, fulfillment in your life. Jesus is the new wine. He's saying, you have to receive me in my newness. Don't try to mix me with the old. You cannot compare. And that is why when the man tried to compare the new wine, you see, and the old one, the one which was finished, he said, look, he went, the master of ceremony, he said, look, what you have done, you bridegroom, you did it contrary. You are supposed to come to bring this tasting, a very amazing wine first, and then later when people are drunk, then you bring this ordinary, which is diluted, which is not even tasty or sweet. But he didn't know. No, this is somebody's taste. This is somebody's hand. This is different. This is heavenly. This is from above. This is nothing. You cannot go. Of course, he could tell. They were drunk, but he could tell that this is different. You can imagine to tell that something is different, yet when you are drunk, this has to be different. This has to be special. This has to be unique. And that is the new wine that Jesus Christ brought forth. And he was talking about, he says, you cannot put now this new wine into the old system. Say, leave all that which has been there, and allow me to fill your life with tasteful and testimonies, to fill your life with joy and happiness and grace. Allow my mercies, embrace my mercies, and they endure forever. Jesus is amazing. He has forgiven you. He has separated you from the old. Don't cling to the old. Embrace the new. He is your mercy. He is everything for you and to you. And this is why he says he is the new wine. So Christ has brought the new wine, which is still present today. It is very, very important to discover and understand that Jesus is the new wine.